to do the normal grilling, quiz them, and then ask them some of critical questions, and not because they've worked, maybe they are your former colleague or something. There are some questions, pertinent questions that you should ask most of the time, not just take a bow, because it's of the interest. They are going there for the interest of the whole nation, so they should be able to answer some of the questions, of course, and then the Senate should be able to do the needful and not just take a bow, and then that's it. Now we'll be going straight to Punch newspaper this morning, and on Punch we have negotiation fails. Niger junta to recall ambassador from Nigeria. All right, this one is beginning to look as if Nigeria. They are now beginning to look at Nigeria as one of the problems, so that's why they are recalling their ambassador from Nigeria. So you see, the thing is taking a new dimension. Of course, it's something that you know quite well that the chairman of ECOWAS is Mr. President, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Of course, maybe that's why. Now we have this one: lawmakers fault Sowolo's commissioner nominees list. This one is on Punch newspaper this morning. It's all about the commissioner's nominee list of Mr. Sowolo. It's right there on Punch newspaper. Go and grab a copy and then do justice to that particular story. And now this is on subsidy protests of the NLC, and then their failed agreement, or or their ongoing agreements, because the ongoing, that's the news we are getting. Now it says that the FG Labour talks collapse. NLC begins strike August 14. This one is on Punch newspaper this morning, so go and grab a copy and read through it, all right? Now we have this one coming from Delta State. Of course, Delta governor indicts Lagos hospital over doctor's death in elevator. This one is coming from Punch newspaper. Vuare Diaso I think it's from Delta State. Of course, it's from Delta State, and that's why governor of Delta State is indicting Lagos hospital over doctor's death in elevator. Go and grab a copy and know why. Then know the measures that the governor of Lagos State is taking in this regard. Now this one says, still on Punch newspaper this morning, and it says, high food prices loom. USAID warns Nigeria orders. Of course, it's expected when prices of PMS is going up, and a whole lot of factors that concerns, or maybe people, a whole lot of factors that culminate into, transportation of food and foodstuffs and all that is going up. definitely should expect that the price of food should go up as well. And that boils down to what we discussed the other day in this show, and we talked about how to have an alternative means of agriculture and how to, get food out from the soil. Start practicing that as well. Start practicing your own kind of small scale farming behind your house or wherever you find an empty land. Just get some of this food stuff yourself. Of course, the ground cannot look at your face sometimes. You just look at the seedlings that you're planting. So it will definitely favor anybody that knows that is there. So the ground is for everybody. So just try and take advantage and be your own your own food originator or your own food farmer. So you can be able to feed your family, because everything you need, there are some things that you should be able to extract from the land by yourself. And that's what I'm advocating for. All right? And then this one is still on Punch Newspaper this morning, and it says the FG to implement no work, no pay for striking resident doctors. It's on Punch Newspaper this morning. Now this one says PDP Labour Party mock APC as NEC ratifies Ganduje party chair. So go and grab a copy and know why PDP and Labour Party are mocking APC newly elected national chair. Now this one is saying father of siblings killed by collapsed hotel fence demands justice. Still on Punch Newspaper this morning. Go and grab a copy. All right. Now I have this one and it says the new public service rules may force out 512 directors. Right there on Punch Newspaper this morning. Now we'll move straight to the Nation newspaper this morning, which says that Ganduje pledges reform, fairness to reposition APC. It's right there on the Nation newspaper. Go and grab a copy. Of course, you know that there's a lot going on around APC, and which culminated into the emergence of APC electing their new national chair. Now, Ganduje is the new national chair of APC, and then he's promising that he's going to reposition the party, all right? And that's all. It's all about that he's going to build it on fairness. That's what his administration is going to look like. So, watch out for that one. You can extract the full information from the Nation newspaper this morning. this one says that we must reposition APC. Tinubu tells party leaders. Still on the Nation newspaper this morning. It's still Super Citizen at sunrise this morning, and then we'll be going straight to our discussion segments right about now, and to start doing justice to some of these headlining stories this morning. And don't forget that we have the pleasure of having in the studio, as always, Mr. Salami. Mr. Salami is a veteran journalist and then a media consultant. So just right about now, we are kicking off our discussion segments on the story. Of course, the most important ones are the one that is so bold, and is FG Labour Talks collapse. NLC begins strike August 14. This one is doesn't sound like a good story at all. Something that we should critically look into this morning. It means that the protests and all that the federal government is doing is falling on deaf ears. Of course, we had some stories that said that the Port Harcourt refinery is going to start functioning, or is going to be operational from December, and then here we are. And these are some of the things that issues that NLC is raising in terms of the hike in the petrol price, and federal government is coming out to tell them that from December the refinery is going to be functional, and if it's functional, definitely it should be expected. It's expected that the prices of petroleum is going to crash. Don't you think that NLC have been given a better offer to sheath their sword instead of still going on with the nationwide planned strike on the 14th of August this month?
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, listeners and fans of Citizen FM. We are now at a crossroad. And I want to say with all sense of responsibility that the Nigerian project should be taken seriously, and the Nigerian people should not be toyed with. The federal government owes Nigerians the duty of visionary leadership. The federal government under Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, owes Nigerians a big duty. Why are they there? They are, as it were, there to provide security and good governance. They are there to see and ensure that the welfare and well-being of all Nigerians are well and properly protected. Honestly, I want to believe that a situation where workers, artisans, indeed Nigerians are crying and crying loud, there is a need for the federal government to hearken. More than this, I want to believe that we are all critical core stakeholders in this project called Nigeria, and the government is just there in trust, holding public office, which is a public trust, and this public trust must not be abused or betrayed. NLC is a responsible pressure group peopled by Nigerians who over the years have experience in labor and industrial matters. They are not God. They are not perfect. But clearly they are there as a pressure group. And what is the work of a pressure group? To advance and protect whatever is in the best interest of their members, this time around the workers, Nigerian workers. And that exactly is what the NLC is doing. Don't let us deceive ourselves. One might say that is NLC holding government to ransom? One might ask too that why is it that NLC has said again that industrial action may commence again come August 14. I want to believe that they will have looked at all the options. They will have looked at all the odds, and they will now think, they will have thought that this is what to do in the best interest of Nigerians. I do not know whether it is or whether it is not. But one thing is clear. It appears as if the language, the government of the day, not necessarily this government, it has always been the routine, understands is strike. But we have had so many, one strike, too many. I want to plead, and I'm pleading with all sense of responsibility and taking into consideration the hardship in the land, that the federal government should rethink some of these policies. Refinery will work in December. I want to believe that it is when people are alive by December that they will enjoy whatever will be or might be the consequence of refinery working. That is if it will work, and that is if it will start rolling out fuel. But the thing is this: I do not think, and it is a personal opinion, that strike is the answer. Let us do creative thinking. Let the federal government hearken to the voice of the NLC. Let the NLC too approach this issue with the mind that what is paramount now is acceptable, functional, workable solution, not necessarily strike. Strike will not give us the solution. Let us sit down first. Let us do robust thinking. Let us put Nigeria first. It is not a punitive thing. Let's be careful.
All right.
Let us be very careful and not play to the gallery.
All right, let us be very careful. And that's the voice of Mr. Salmon Salami. Don't forget that this is still Super Citizen at Sunrise on 93.7 FM Citizen FM. Now, we want to look at this issue of the emergence of Mr. Ganduje as the APC chair. And it's still one of the top headlining stories right here. The whole YPDP Labour Party mocking neck, and then the way he emerged as the new APC chair as well. There used to be conventions before this, but now what we see is the neck meeting, and then all of a sudden here we have a new APC national chair. Do you think is the right way to go before we now go into the details of PDP and Labour Party mocking Mr. Ganduje as the new APC chair? Of course, you know he had some controversies in the past and all that. We've not really looked into that, but we want to look at his emergence as the APC chair. It could have been determined by a convention. Now it's just a small house of national of the neck that produced this the APC national chair this time around. Why? Well,
what happened in APC, I want to believe, is in order. In order, in the sense that the NEC is the highest body, highest organ of the party. All they are going to do, as they have been doing, not only APC, PDP too, is to ratify the appointment or the nomination at a convention. And of course, nature abhors a vacuum. There cannot be a vacuum. There must be somebody. As it were, what they have done is okay. And if anybody feels that it is illegal, the option is the court of law. As regards the personnel of the national chairman, His Excellency Alhaji Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, the former governor of
Kano State.
Kano State. Well, I want to believe that the party knows who is best qualified to be their chairman. I want to believe that in all this, and I am saying this from experience, being a journalist, a political reporter of about 36 years, so I understand politics and the politics of the media. Whoever emerges as the chairman of a party is the candidate of Mr. President. I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility.
All right. We'll leave it at that. Now we want to look at the controversy surrounding his emergence. PDP and Labour Party mocking him already as a new APC chair, national chair. Do you feel that it has anything to do with the gondola issue that he had in the past? Of course, he had that issue and it was all over the place.
You see, physician heal thyself. I mean, what when EKETU is calling pot black, it is a funny scenario. I am not here to defend Ganduje, but the issue of Ganduje Gandola thing is sub judice. It's still in court, and I want to believe that it's just a question of perception. Ganduje, in the eyes of the law, is a clean, innocent, credible person. Well, whatever anybody may say, he has not been found guilty of any offense by any competent any court of competent jurisdiction, and to that extent I will not comment. But perception too is something, because we cannot pretend that we have not heard anything. But whatever we have heard, whatever we have seen, remains seen and remains heard. Suspicion, no matter how strong, cannot take the place of evidence. That is the position of the law.
Yeah.
As it is today, Ganduje is qualified to hold any position and is seen as a credible person, is seen as a competent person
until proven otherwise. All right, that's the word of Mr. Salmon Salami on Super Citizen at Sunrise this morning. Now we go straight to this particular sad story about the Lagos medical practitioner that died in the elevator. We want to look at this from the angle of the Delta State, where she's from, is indicting the Lagos hospital over doctor's death in elevator. I think is actually calls for, it's going to serve as a deterrent to people that runs some of these healthcare facilities to be able to, live up to expectation, or to live up to some standards in discharging their duties, and then maintaining their facilities as well. There was no blood in that hospital, and that was what caused this lady's death. I want us to look at this particular issue, please.
Well, I said it yesterday, I am repeating it today, that the death of one person calls for grief, and the death of this young doctor is a national tragedy. It's a national disaster. She might come from Delta State, and
over such a rising
the negligence
star.
of that hospital and indeed in Nigeria. But the truth be told, this is to whom the bell tolls. It tolls for all of us. And I want to say that this is a national tragedy. It's not a state tragedy. It is sad that it happened in Lagos. It could have happened anywhere. The lessons there are, one, we should not be negligent in our affairs. We should be alive to our responsibilities. I want to believe that the malfunctioning elevator did not just start malfunctioning yesterday. It did not just fall. There were signs. Indeed, there were reports that this elevator has been found to be malfunctioning for quite some time now. There are things you don't manage. You don't manage tires of a car. There are others that you don't manage malfunctioning a bad part of an aircraft because it cannot park in the air to fix it. There are things that are fatal and final. Mistakes, aviation mistake is fatal and is final. Let us be very, very dutiful. The problem with Nigeria, I keep on saying, is that there is no consequence. This one has come. The question is next. You might not hear that so has been found to be dereliction of duty, and has been punished. Honestly, we should not sweep this one under the carpet. Whoever is responsible, anybody who is responsible, directly or indirectly, in what happened, this national tragedy that happened, must be brought to book.
All right, it must be brought to book. And then we are still on Super Citizen and Sunrise on 93.7 FM, Citizen FM, right here in the Federal Capital Territory, Labour House. Now, we want to look at this issue of FG to implement no work, no pay for striking resident doctors. These are part of the things I think that might have led to this lady's death. No one knows. No one actually knows, you know. And when these people are striking, the facts, of course, is that most of these things can happen. You know, this is one story that has already sparked a lot of reactions. Now we have a lot that nobody even knows about that is still going on now, or that has happened within the time of their strike and all that. Now, no work, no pay. They are striking for a reason, and then the federal government could have found a way to, you know, give them a succor. Now, no work, no pay. Of course, it's actually in the law that when you strike, there shouldn't be a pay. But what's the best approach? Wouldn't there be any other better approach instead of no work, no pay? Because these things over time normally spark a lot of, a lot of bad blood and all that. Of course, the ASU issue was still an issue into reference on. But the issue is, when you say no work, no pay, it's definitely going to spark a lot of bad blood. How do you see that, Mr. Salami?
I will see the way reasonable people will see it. No work, no pay. Fine. The question is this: why did people stop work?
That's the question.
Come to think of it, here are doctors who lost a member in a very, very sad and tragic and unfortunate circumstance. They are mourning. They were surprised that this young, upcoming, promising medical doctor lost her life in an unfortunate circumstance. They have not come to terms. There are quite many of them that up till now they would not have internalized what happened. Denial, because it's pretty difficult to accept that this lady is gone and is gone. These are the issues, and instead of allowing them to grieve, instead of sympathizing with them, instead of understanding their emotive or emotional circumstance, the thing now is no work, no pay. Will your child ask for bread and you give him scorpion? Will you do that? For now, the reasonable thing is to understand their emotional imbalance. The reasonable thing is to sympathize with them. The reasonable thing is to understand that this is not medical tragedy. It is a national tragedy. When you empathize with them, when you show them that you care, you feel, and you understand the situation in which they have found themselves, they will now know that yes, this is a listening and caring government. To now say that the answer to what is going on is no work, no pay.
All right.
It is not only an insult, it's marks of insensitivity.
Now, the last one here, before we open up our phone lines, says that outreach. Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State is having a robust 47 media aids. Not commissioners, media aids, 47. That's a robust kind of he's assembling media aids, and then people are trying to cut governance, and here he goes again. 47, not commissioners, not members of media aids. How do you see this?
Well, honestly, I think we need psychologists. Nigerian Psychological Association should please say something on behavior, because some things, when they happen, you begin to wonder that is something wrong with our people? 47 media aids, they will be paid from taxpayers' money, and to do what? To launder your image or to protect you, or do man, I don't know how to react to this. I don't really know how to react to this in the season when people are saying that cut the size of governance so that you will free money for other things. With all due respect, Your Excellency, this is not the right way to go, and this is not the right thing to do, and it does not sound reasonable with all sense of responsibility.
With all sense of responsibility. Don't forget that now it's time for you to be part of the conversation, and we're going to throw our phone lines open. Call us on our line 081 822 22205. I'll call it again, 081 822 22205, or you call us on another line, 090 32 22 9797, 090 32 22 9797. Call and be a part of this conversation this morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Thank you very much. I'm calling Ade from Maraba.
Ade,
Ade from Maraba.
Ade from Maraba. How is Maraba this morning, my brother?
I thank God you.
Well done, Mr. Ade. Please go ahead.
I heard that one doctor died, Ade.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. It's a pity.
Of
Do you
course.
remember doing the calculus?
Doing what? Doing what?
During the calculus, you remember?
One
pregnant woman go hospital. Doctor They make the husband go bring the cash. The husband beg. The woman die. That is why I say I'm very sorry for that doctor who died. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ade. Thank you so very much for your contribution this morning. Don't forget that you can still call because we have an ample time to answer everybody's call. Before we go on the next segment called The Big Talk. All right? Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Mr. what?
Salami.
Mr. Salami.
Yes,
from where? Oh, okay. Mr. Ashuku from Masaka.
I'm greeting your guest there, Mr. Salami.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Ashuku.
Yes, sir. This Gato matter is not a joke.
Please, can you speak up? We can barely hear you.
I say I'm pointing Mr. Gadoja as the PDP chairman is not a surprise. All the people, the level allegations, the temple against them pertaining corruption. This is the people that the president is bringing up. All the governors are part of Erubai and all the governors have their problems with them. But it's the president that don't accept of them come and do what you don't know. So you see how we continue the old wine every day in new bottle. Where are we headed? We have people in ground. If you want to compensate your political people, they will have many ways to compensate them. It's not necessarily bringing the type of minister of Buhari back to this kind of problem that Nigeria are facing. It's very bad. And then for the doctor who died, I sympathize with the family. This is the type of negligence we have in it. We don't care. God will help us. So for those who went to the jail for negotiation, those on authority, those between anti-political forces, when the African leaders are doing forcing people or forcing somebody who does not win election and to become a president, then what are you important?
All right, let's leave it at that. Thank you so very much, Mr. Ashuku. Thank you. All right, we can still pick one or two calls before we wrap up this segment and move to Big Talk. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm all right. How you doing, my brother?
This is Akerele calling from Kubwa.
Akerele from Kubwa. Please go ahead, Mr. Akerele.
Yes, this is our station, and then for a long time I have not been calling because I can say so many things that you have to digest it before you say something.
Yeah, of course.
You see, when this country, George, you see, there is a saying: be ever very vigilant, but don't be too suspicious. The governor of Delta State has a lot of work to do in Delta State. This one he's saying over there, as I'm sitting down here, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. This lady that died in Lagos there, nobody will tell you in this country, because I know Nigeria, nobody will tell you that the tale is not paying anybody. And to come and be attacking and saying maybe giving them marching orders that it's not what do you call it? Giving them what do you call it? Marching order. It's not expected of him. He's supposed to dialogue with the Lagos State governor. The Lagos State governor, you see, if the man visited that scene in the evening, very very late in the evening, to go and see that place, how the thing was. Nobody will have suspected that the elevator would fail, but they said they have been writing it for a long time, and they did not do something about it. These are the core things that we are supposed to tackle for people to not to be doing their work. When you have been writing in, what have those people who are there, who are working there, what have they been doing? Have they just been sitting and collecting salary without doing anything about it? Have they written to the state governor or who is concerned about that elevator to mend it? These are the things we are supposed to check. That the governor to be giving them, say, okay, he's indicting them, I don't think that one will help us.
He's talking about the hospital, not the Lagos State government, actually. Yeah.
But the hospital is part of it. You have seen what governor has done. The governor said he has set up the panel to look into that part. What the cause of that particular incident?
Yeah, his blame is not going to, just get it correctly, his blame is not going to Lagos State government, but the hospital at which the incident happened.
What I'm saying, there is somebody who is in charge of that Lagos State and that hospital. That is the governor. He is supposed to cut across to his brother, talk to his brother over there. What they are going to do will immediately be done.
Okay. All right.
You know, when you go on the air like this and you are doing all these things, it's like maybe you are making this thing open too much. Then you understand me. So I can discuss with you now. I cannot put it to the radio.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Our time is running out, Mr. Akerele. Thank you for your contribution. Join us on Big Talk, actually. Join us on Big Talk and then be part of it. All right. We'll soon go on a short break, and when we return, we'll come back for Big Talk. Hello. Good morning to you. Let's just pick this last call.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning, my brother? Please go ahead quickly. What's the name and your location?
My name is Eze. I'm calling from Pape.
Eze from Pape. Please go ahead, Eze.
You see, I want to correct something about the labor. I heard from one of the newspapers that federal government sued them, and they are saying withdraw the suit or we will go on strike on the 14th. I want your man there to hear me on it. Is it not true like that?
That's what? Come again?
That federal government sued them, that they should withdraw the suit. The federal government should withdraw the suit from the court.
Okay, against labor.
Yes.
No, that one is government has already sued. Don't worry, we'll talk about all that on Big Talk. We are extracting all the labor issue on Big Talk coming up shortly. All right, so you can participate. Okay. Yeah, and then we can digress a little bit on that. Now, this is going to be the size of our package. Please, a summary from Mr. Salami, please.
Well, I want the Labour, NLC, and the federal government to judge reasonably.
Yeah.
Take into consideration the people. At the center of everything is the welfare and well-being of Nigerians.
Okay. Now, this is going to be the side of our package on this newspaper review segment on Super Citizen and Sunrise this morning. When we return, it's going to be the time for Big Talk, when we will open our phone lines again to discuss about labor and the looming strike that is coming up on the 14th of August. We'll be right back.